Hello and welcome to this episode of Arcstar Reviews. Today we'll be discussing what I felt was good and bad about Pokémon Scarlet and Violet. To jump in, what was good about the games? Well, for starters, they're a solid addition to the franchise. It continues Pokemon's evolution of incrementally improving their games release over release. They add a few new things and push the boundaries of what they've done in the past. They had solid characters that I found interesting, and I wanted to see what happened in the various storylines. This helped pull me through the various open world elements. It was a bit awkward at times because the three storylines don't really interact until they are all done. But in general, you're a student at a school. You go and fight your classmates, beat up their pets, and take their lunch money. A very compelling 21st century game. Some of the new things in this game, the open world elements, they did what they set out to do for the most part, but there are some issues that I will talk about in a minute. Other things that I thought were good, the travel in the game, having access to the legendary Pokemon that you can ride on fairly early really helps you to be able to move around the world. I also thought that the Terra raids were a good addition. Being able to go around, find the raids fairly easily, take them on, and they gave pretty good rewards. Now for some of the downsides of Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. The quest and the task flow was a bit off for me. It kind of gave you access to all of the quests for the game at once and didn't give you a good means of tracking them. There was no indication of how difficult various tasks were, what level you needed to be. The game sort of left you on your own to say, okay, the Pokemon in this area are this level, so I should be able to do this or not. Tracking what tasks you had completed and what you still had to do was awkward. Once you got about halfway through, tracking your progress with just the map got very messy, especially if you were bouncing from place to place instead of going in a nice, convenient pattern. Other issues, the game suffered from a lot of performance issues. They were not necessarily game-breaking, but as soon as NPC characters got far enough away from you, they started being animated in an extremely choppy fashion. The shop behavior for most of the shops in the game I found very dated. The world portrayal of these shops was that you would go into them, and most open world games where you go into things actually renders the interior of the shop. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, no such luck. You go into the shop and the screen is replaced with a text dialogue. There is no interior to the shops. There were many shops that were just carts that you would go up and talk to the vendors. I think this would have been a much better approach to take for all of the shops. And it would have made the transition a little less jarring to me. The Let's Go system. I was interested in this to try it out. It was implemented kind of terribly. Once you have a Pokemon out, after it gets through its initial cluster of Pokemon that are close enough for it to say, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go beat up all these Pokemon, it ignores any other Pokemon on the world. So you can't just have it follow you around and take on the Pokemon that you happen to get close to. It doesn't do it. It also is a lot slower than you are, so if you want to keep it out, you have to intentionally slow down a lot. This is exceptionally annoying for things like the few Pokemon that need to be out for 1,000 steps continuously in Let's Go mode. You can basically only do that. There's no way you can do anything else while you are doing the Let's Go evolutions. I also found the 2 currency system to be fairly confusing. I don't understand why there were 2 currencies. You have the basic Pokecash and you have League Points. I don't understand why they are different. You seem to be able to use them interchangeably. The conversion is 1-to-1. Just kill it and make it all cash. It doesn't serve any purpose as far as I can tell. I also thought that some of the changes to shiny hunting were unnecessary. In Arceus, for example, there was an audio cue when a shiny popped up on the world, which, given that the hunting system is very similar between the 2 games, I don't understand why the audio cue is gone. It makes shiny hunting very difficult for me. There are many Pokemon in the game that have different colored forms, and replacing those, trying to figure out which ones are shinies and which ones are different forms, is too much hassle for me. The audio cue would have made things so much easier. Overall, I liked the game. I sunk a lot of hours into it. I'm going to sink a few more, trying to finish up my Pokedex. But just because I liked playing it doesn't mean I will give the game a pass for its obvious faults. It is an enjoyable game, but there are a lot of dated gameplay elements. Open world games have been tracking quests for a while. Shop behavior should be fairly well established. The performance of NPC sprites at range has been solved in numerous other games. These are not issues that should have been unique to a Pokemon game, but for some reason they didn't get them right. So I hope in future patches they will fix a lot of these issues. They should be doable, but we'll see what happens over time. If you liked this review, please like and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what your thoughts on the games were in the comments, and also let me know if there are any other games you would like me to review in future review videos. Thanks for watching. Until next time.